What's up, you spooky bitches? Being that it is now the spooky season, I wanted to cover a pay-per-view that brings a little bit of fear into everybody's hearts. No, I'm not talking Hell in a Cell, or Elimination Chamber, or Great Balls of Fire. God, that is phallic. No, I am talking about Halloween Havoc from WCW. Originally, I was going to be talking about Scooby-Doo WrestleMania Mystery, and then I remembered the pumpkin. Hey, who do you think the hottest girl at school is? The Halloween Havoc pumpkin. The Halloween Havoc pumpkin. This is the best and worst of WCW Halloween Havoc. First off, what I want to talk about is the setup and the presentation of this pay-per-view. While Halloween can really fall into two categories, either really, really well done or super tacky, it would have been really easy for the guys over in Turnerland to kind of build this up as a very tacky looking pay-per-view with low-grade decorations and kind of just like, ooh, it's a ghost, it's Halloween. But they really did put in that effort. Whether it's the giant pumpkin that I mentioned earlier or the tombstones on the ramp, it really feels like it is that Halloween time of year. It makes it feel like it is important. It makes it feel festive. It gives off full-size candy bar energy, you know what I mean?
Halloween Havoc is the WrestleMania of WCW, not Starrcade. I know that's a hot take for a lot of people, but there's so many good memories, and it was always such a spectacle each year because they could be a little bit more over the top.
Everything about the setup here looks great. Even the Snickers product placement just feels right here. And not to mention God's gift to Gores. Mwah, love ya. This type of product placement really feels a lot more purposeful than what a lot of modern companies are doing with, you know, the Mike's Hard Lemonades. Oh, did you like the three-way for the IC title at Mania? Cool. Look at this violently yellow can while you watch the replay of a man getting shot in the chest. Being that mostly wrestlers go out trick-or-treating for knuckle sandwiches, how could we forget about the most interesting one of them all in the Yeti? What on God's green earth is this? I can understand, you know, it's a Halloween-based pay-per-view where you want to build some type of unkillable monster, like a Kane or an Awesome Kong, but this doesn't really give off that energy for me, dog. It gives more, man, those Johnson boys TP'd my house and now I gotta go to work. Like, this monstrosity is called the Yeti, but it looks more like a mummy, and he walks like a mummy, and he acts like a mummy. So why is he a Yeti? You know, like a Yeti, like a furry thing. This thing looks like you went to Costco and you bought a little too much toilet paper and decided to have a fun night out with the boys. So let me go ahead and set the scene for you here. The Giant, aka The Big Show, and Hulk Hogan are fighting over the World Heavyweight title, right? And they're in this big match and Jimmy Hart's interfering to try to mess with Hulk Hogan. And Big Show, or The Giant, has him in the most devastating lock in the world. The bear hug. Like, I don't understand why the bear hug was such a huge finisher back in the day. It's like, oh no, he's crushing his toxic male masculinity. How will he ever rebound? He hugged another man, oh no. It's kind of giving off the energy that Hulk Hogan's going to use those 24-inch Python brothers to send Paul White straight to WCW HR, if they actually ever existed. Then that's when Kevin Sullivan comes in and looks like he does a really great rendition of Disco Inferno at Drag Night. Then Macho Man comes down and does all. They're really trying to put over the Giant and Jimmy Hart on commentary, saying like, oh, they're gonna end Hulkamania right here. Actually, guys, they don't have the power to end Hulkamania, but you know what will? A leaked sex tape and being a giant racist. Then that's whenever our spooky boy here starts jaunting down to the ring as if Mike Myers has jury duty or something. Then when he gets to the ring, you know what devastating move he does next? Did you think the bear hug? Cause he does it. They're making a Hulkster sandwich here, brother, which I would imagine is a lot like the tuna fish from Subway. I guess that means if you were to do this move to Macho Man, it would be a Slim Jim panini?
Here's an interesting fact, though, for that main event. That was actually Paul White's first pro wrestling match, was against Hulk Hogan in the main event of a major pay-per-view. Oh, no, yeah, by the way, he won the World Heavyweight Championship, even though it was weird. Especially the Yeti.
And I know what you're thinking, extreme. Yeah, it was a weird night, but I'm sure the rest of the feud was fine, right? Before this, they fought with monster trucks. On top of a building. One of them fell off. I'm surprised that... I'm one for kayfabe, but you fell off of a building, my guy. Hey, but like Rick James said, cocaine's a hell of a drug. I think maybe the writers had a couple of pixie sticks before, you know, coming up with a Chamber of Horrors match as well.
Worst match? Chamber of Horrors from '91. I don't need to say anymore. just watch it.
Not to say all of Halloween Havoc was terrible. I mean, that was one huge blunder, but they had some great stuff on the show as well. They had DDP countering the jackhammer against Goldberg, which, by the way, for some of you younger wrestling fans, that's like someone kicking out the one-winged angel. Goldberg was just freaking unstoppable. And the fact that someone was able to counter a jackhammer, freaking insane. Not to also mention, I feel like if there's any Mr. Halloween Havoc, it's most definitely Rey Mysterio. There's a reason why this gear is so iconic. Him versus Eddie Guerrero for the Cruiserweight title is possibly a top 10 matches of all time for me personally. Not to also mention we would see a lot of historic firsts in Halloween Havoc, like the first ever matchup between Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, two of the greatest to do it at the time. And since the reinvention of Halloween Havoc with NXT, this is where we saw Mandy Rose start her historic 400+ day title reign with the NXT Women's title. By the way, one of my personal favorite matches from this event is Vader versus Cactus Jack in a Texas Death Match. Beautiful, bloody violence. Look, does WCW Halloween Havoc have a perfect pay-per-view record? Hell no. It's a scary hot mess, but that's also kind of why I love it. As much as I love the totally serious world of kayfabe and real fighting and, you know, making it look as real as possible, you always need that duality of something kind of fun in the background in order to kind of not have it just be serious 100% of the time. Look, wrestling events are this odd mix to where you can laugh, you can cry, you can be as happy as you've ever been, you can be as angry as you've ever been at another human, or you can just cry at the fact that your guy didn't win. You have that duality of being silly and being serious. As much as I love the serious world of kayfabe fighting and making it look as real as possible, I enjoy a little bit of laughter to cut up the seriousness. I'm just personally glad wrestling fans my age and younger, old and new, can go back and experience this show to see just how fun wrestling can be in both the seriousness and the silliness at the same time. Everything from the giant pumpkin to the hugging mummy, I wouldn't want it any other way. It's also great to see how the NXT 2.0 product has really metamorphosized and created a place for this pay-per-view to continue, and I'm all here for it. If you're looking to catch up on this historic pay-per-view or just want to get into the Halloween spirit, I highly recommend the Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio match that I mentioned before, as well as Cactus Jack versus Vader, and also a good sleeper hit for me that I didn't think I would like as much, Sting versus Bret Hart for the US title. And I know what you're probably thinking, granted, Sting versus Bret Hart, how could you not? Hey, I'm young and dumb, remember that. Or I'm old and stupid, whichever on the line you prefer. I'm just so excited for my Halloween costume this year. I'm going as the search function on Peacock, because God, have you tried to use this with finding anything WWE related? It is absolute dog shit. Thank you guys so much for watching Extreme League Wrestling. Don't forget to suplex that like button down below, and even let me know your favorite Halloween Havoc match, both for WCW and NXT. If you want to check out more of our content, be sure to hit it right here in the end card. Thank you guys so much for watching Extreme League Wrestling, and we'll catch you next time. Happy Halloween.